students, there is a small announcement. Law Excellence is going to conduct a rapid revision program to revise entire polity in 3 days by Dr. Rambabu sir. For further details regarding this course, you can contact us at the following numbers. Hello everyone, welcome to Current Affairs for Beginners. First, let us see answers for the yesterday's questions. Which of the following is not part of a core industry in India? Fertilizers, cement, coal, textiles. The answer here is D. Textiles is not part of a core industry in India. The other 5 core industries are crude oil, petroleum refinery products, natural gas, steel and electricity. These 8 are considered as core industries in India. The next question is with regard to the GST Council, consider the following statements. It is a constitutional body established under Article 279A of the Constitution of India. Yes, this statement is correct. The decisions of the GST Council are made by 3/4 majority of the votes cast. This statement is also correct. Here, in terms of voting, the center is having 33.33% of weightage, whereas the states along with the Union Territories, New Delhi and Pondicherry were having 66.67% of weightage. And in order to pass the decision through voting, it requires 3/4 majority. The next one is, irrespective of size and population, each state has only one vote. This statement is also correct. As all the 3 statements are correct here, the answer here is D. Dear students, as the government has presented the interim budget for 2019-20 on February 1st, Law Excellence has provided you with a detailed analysis of this interim budget. This is already available in our YouTube channel. Please go through that. Now let's start our today's session. This is our first article, and before starting this article, first let us see what is meant by this interim budget. As I said before, on February 1st of 2019, the government has presented its last budget because we are going to have elections, general elections for the parliament this year. As a convention, the government at the end of its term will go for a vote on account rather than a full budget. So what is meant by this vote on account? Vote on account means the government will seek the approval of Parliament for meeting the expenditure, that is for paying salaries or for continue the ongoing programs in various sectors without any changes in the taxation structure until a new government will take over and present a full budget that is revised for the full fiscal year. This is known as vote on account. Now, what is the difference between this vote on account and full budget? This full budget will deal with both expenditure and revenue side, whereas this vote on account will deal only with the expenditure side of the government's budget. And this vote on account is valid only for 2 months, whereas this full budget is valid for 12 months. That means a financial year. And this vote on account will be passed by the Lok Sabha without any discussion. Whereas for passing the budget, it should happen only after discussions. Then what about this interim budget? This interim budget is not same as vote on account. We said that vote on account will deal only with the expenditure side of the government's budget, whereas this interim budget is a complete set of accounts including both expenditure and receipt. And interim budget will give the complete financial statement similar to that of full budget. As per this interim budget, the government will seek the approval of the Parliament to meet its expenditure for the first 4 months of the fiscal year without any changes in the taxation structure until a new government will take over and present a full budget of the year in July 2019. That is after the general elections were held and the result was announced and when a new government will form. Now this article says some of the highlights of the interim budget that was presented by the finance minister. The first one is the government will be providing 6,000 rupees yearly direct support to the farmers through this Pradhan Mantri Krishi Samman Nidhi. And the government is going to provide a pension of 3,000 rupees for unorganized sector workers who are earning up to 15,000 rupees through a mega pension scheme known as Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan. And the present income taxes are going to continue, and the full tax rebate up to an income of 5 lakh rupees for the individual taxpayers is introduced here. So the standard deduction was raised to 50,000 rupees, a hike of 10,000 for salaried class. Now we'll see in detail about these two programs, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Yojana and the other one is Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan. Under this Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan, an assured monthly pension of 3,000 rupees per month will be provided to the workers in the unorganized sector after 60 years of age. And this scheme is launched for the workers, unorganized sector workers who are having their monthly income up to 15,000 rupees. And the worker who is joining this pension yojana at the age of 29 years, then that worker has to contribute 100 rupees per month till the age of 60 years. Whereas if the worker is joining this yojana at 18 years, then the worker has to contribute 55 rupees per month till 60 years of age. And the next article is Farm Pension Just a Drizzle in the Drought. This article comes under GS paper 3 under the topic of agriculture, and from this article we are going to see about this scheme called as Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi. Under this program, 6,000 rupees per year will be given to each farmer, and this 6,000 will be paid in 3 installments, that is 2,000 in each installment, and this amount will be transferred directly to the farmers' bank accounts. And this scheme is valid for the farmers who were having less than 2 hectares of land holding, and this program is going to benefit nearly 12 crore small and marginal farmers. The expected outcomes from this program are it will not only provide assured supplemental income to the most vulnerable farmer families, but it will also help to meet their emergent needs, especially before the harvest season. And it will also pave the way for farmers to earn and live a respectable living. And this program is going to be made effective from 1st December of 2018, and the first installment for the period, that is up to 31st March of 2019, will be paid during this year itself. The government has launched this scheme with an estimated cost of total 75,000 crore rupees. And students, in this article there is also mention of 2 state schemes, which are the income support schemes called Raitu Bandhu, and the other one is Kalia scheme by the Odisha government. These 2 schemes were dealt in detail in our core video on 28th of January. For the details about these 2 schemes, please go through our 28th January 2019 video. The next article is Distributing the Rewards of Reform. From this article, now we are going to see about 2 things. One is what is meant by these open market operations and what are these G6. First, let us see about this G6, which means government securities. These are the instruments issued by the government to borrow money from the market. They are also known as gilts or gilt-edged securities. Here, the government security means a security created and issued by the government for the purpose of raising a public loan or for any other purpose as notified by the government. And depending upon the expiry date, these government securities are divided into 2 types. One is a short-term government security and the other one is a long-term government securities. Short-term government securities are the treasury bills. These treasury bills will have a maturity of less than 1 year. And there are 3 main types of treasury bills. That is, it is again divided based upon the maturity period. One is 91 days and the other one is 182 days and the other one is 364 days. They all are below 1 year. And the next one is long-term government securities. These are also known as government bonds or dated securities. These long-term government securities will have a maturity period of 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, like that. And the next one in this article is open market operations. Open market operation is a monetary policy tool used by the RBI. These open market operations refers to buying and selling of eligible securities. They are nothing but the government securities by the Reserve Bank of India. Securities that were sold and purchased are government securities, which includes both long term, that is government bonds, and treasury bills. Buying of these securities in the open market. What will happen? By buying these securities, it is going to infuse money into the market, which will increase the supply of money. Whereas by selling these securities, it will reduce the volume of money with the public. So in order to contain the inflation, the RBI will sell the securities in the open market. The next article is 500 crore for pension for unorganized labor. This article comes under GS paper 3 under the topic of economy. From this article, now we are going to see about a program known as National Social Assistance Program. This National Social Assistance Program is a centrally sponsored scheme administered by the Ministry of Rural Development. This program will provide financial assistance to the elderly people, widows, and persons with disabilities in the form of social pensions. And this National Social Assistance Program consists of 5 sub-schemes. The first one is Indira Gandhi National Old Age Pension Scheme. Here, the eligibility of the beneficiaries is 60 years. The beneficiaries, the individuals should be aged 60 years and above, and they should be below poverty. They should be living below the poverty line. These people will be provided with 200 rupee per month who are aged between 60 to 79 and 500 for the persons who are aged 80 years and above. And the other sub-scheme is Indira Gandhi National Widow Pension Scheme. Here the eligibility for the widows is 40 years and above who are living below the poverty line. Under this scheme, the widows will be provided with 300 rupees per month and 500 rupees for the widows who are aged 80 years and above. And the third scheme is Indira Gandhi National Disability Pension Scheme. Here the eligibility is individuals who are aged 18 years and above with more than 80% of disability and living below poverty line were eligible to avail the benefits of this scheme. And these people will be provided with 300 rupees per month and 500 rupees for those who are aged 80 years and above. And the fourth one is National Family Benefit Scheme. In the event of death of a breadwinner in a household, the family will receive a lump sum assistance of 20,000 rupees under this scheme. And the breadwinner of the household should be aged between 18 to 60 years. And the assistance will be provided in every case of death of the breadwinner. The next one is Annapurna scheme. This scheme aims to provide food security to meet the requirement of the senior citizens who were eligible and have remained uncovered under our Indira Gandhi National Old Age Pension Scheme. For those people, the food security will be provided under this Annapurna scheme. And under this Annapurna scheme, 10 kgs of free rice is provided every month to each beneficiary. And the next article is Goyal unveiled Vision 2030 highlighting 10 dimensions. Here we should know what are those 10 dimensions. The 10 dimensions of vision for India of 2030 are? The first one is next generation infrastructure in order to provide ease of living. The next one is Digital India. This can be achieved by reaching every corner of the economy and every citizen. The third one is Clean and Green India. This can be achieved by making India pollution free, by leading transport revolution with the advancement of electric vehicles and focus on renewables, that is the renewable energy. The next one is rural industrialization. Here we can use the modern digital technologies to generate massive employment. The next one is clean rivers for safe drinking water to all Indians using micro irrigation techniques. The next dimension is oceans and coastlines. This is by scaling up the Sagarmala project. The next one is space program. Our India is going to become a launch pad of the world by placing an Indian astronaut in space by 2022. The next one is self-sufficient in food and improving agricultural productivity with the emphasis on organic food. The next one is Healthy India, that is to have a distress-free and comprehensive wellness system for all the citizens of India. And the last one is minimum government and maximum governance with proactive, responsible, friendly bureaucracy and electronic governance. Now let's see at today's prelims question. The first one is regarding open market operations and the other one is related to treasury bills. Try to answer these questions and post your answers in the comment box, and on Monday we'll see a detailed explanation for these questions. And this is our Lloyd's Loans website where you can access the notes for this video. Thank you.